They will tell you it's impossible, that the odds are stacked, that you should settle, shrink, and stay quiet. But the moment you believe them, truly believe them, is the moment you bury the fire that was put in you at birth. The truth? The world doesn't decide your limits. You do. And belief, real, unshakable belief, is the first spark that paths everything you were meant to become. Look around. Everything man has built, from the towering skyline to the symphonies that stir the soul, began with belief. Not luck, not money, not permission. Belief. Henry Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." He wasn't being poetic. He was revealing the raw code of creation. Every invention, every revolution, every underdog story the world never saw coming, it started with someone who refused to believe the noise. ... Unbreakable belief isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. It's the quiet force that keeps you moving when the rest of the world stops. It's the voice in your chest that says, "One more rep, one more try, one more day." Belief is not magic, it's a discipline. It's choosing over and over to see yourself not as you are, but as you could be. It's vision in the face of visible defeat. It's the backbone of champions and the weapon of misfits who dared to dream beyond the horizon. Think of Edison. 10,000 failures, 1,000 nights of ridicule. Yet he believed not just in the light bulb, but in himself. And that belief turned darkness into light for billions. Or Lincoln, born into poverty, mocked, doubted, broken by loss. But he believed in something greater than pain, in unity, in the fight to build a world that could rise beyond division. And that belief moved a nation. You want to build something? Anything? Then build your belief. Build it like a cathedral, one brick at a time. Lay down the foundation in discipline. Cement it with consistency. Frame it in clarity. Roof it in vision. And when storms come, and they will, you do not leave. You stand inside that belief and let the winds scream. Because belief built on truth does not break. But be warned, belief without action is just a daydream, a castle in the clouds. It feels good, but it gets you nowhere. Belief demands motion. It demands you rise when the bed is warm, when the doubt is loud, when the critics multiply. Because belief says, "I will not be defined by fear." You see, there are two kinds of people in this world: those who are shaped by their environment and those who shape it. Those who see the wall and walk away, and those who see it and build the ladder. What separates them? Not talent, not intelligence, belief. Unbreakable belief is forged in the fire. It doesn't come when life is easy. It comes when life is crushing. When you failed, when the door slammed, when the crowd laughed, and something in you said, "No, I'm not done yet." That is the moment belief is born. But to keep it alive, to protect that belief, you must be ruthless with your mind. You must train it like a soldier. Because the enemy of belief is not failure. It's doubt, it's distraction, it's comparison. The moment you measure your worth by someone else's timeline, you lose. The moment you scroll past someone else's success and feel less than, you've handed over your power. Don't do it. Own your lane. Own your timeline. Own your belief. Because belief is not found, it's built. And the building never stops. But belief alone is not a magic trick. It's a war. A war against every doubt that creeps in when the room goes quiet. A war against the voice that tells you, "You're not ready. You're not worthy. You're too late." That voice lies. It always has. But it sounds familiar. It sounds like your own. And so you trust it for far too long. Until one day, the fire gets too loud to ignore. The fire of potential. The whisper that you were made for something more. And finally, you start listening to that voice instead. The one buried under years of fear. The one that says, stand up, fight for yourself. You were not born to shrink. You were born to rise. This is the power of unbreakable belief. Not the kind that feels good when the sun is out and the bank account is full, but the kind that stays when everything else leaves. When your back is against the wall and you still choose to rise. You think Edison didn't have setbacks? He failed thousands of times trying to make a light bulb work. Thousands. But he never called them failures. He called them steps. Steps toward the one that would work. That's belief. Not hope, not luck, not guessing. Belief that says, I will not stop until this works because it must. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination. Imagine that. A man who created worlds was told he had none. And still, he kept going. Do you know what that takes? It takes the kind of belief you build in the dark. The kind you feed when no one claps for you. The kind that turns rejection into fuel. But let's be clear, belief is not arrogance. It's not noise. It's not showing off. Belief is quiet, still, relentless. It doesn't shout. It shows. It shows up when it's tired. It shows up when it's doubted. It shows up when it's mocked. Belief doesn't need applause. It needs action. Every day, brick by brick, until one day the world looks up and says, where did that come from? And you'll smile because you'll know it came from within. It always did. Belief transforms average effort into unstoppable momentum. It's what takes a simple idea, one goal, one dream, and turns it into something inevitable. Because when your belief is unbreakable, you stop asking if. You start asking how. How do I make this happen? How do I outlast the noise, the critics, the chaos? How do I become the one who does not flinch? And the answers start coming. Not all at once, but piece by piece. Clarity begins to cut through the fog. And here's the secret most never learn. Clarity isn't a gift. It's a result. A result of belief followed by disciplined action. You don't wait to feel certain before you move. You move, and certainty begins to grow. Because clarity follows courage, vision follows movement, confidence follows commitment. This is why most never make it. They wait, they stall, they overthink and underact, and the window closes. But not you. Not now. Because you've decided, and decision is power. Decision is the spark. The moment you stop dancing with your doubts and start walking toward your future with your head held high. Let that be your new standard, unbreakable belief. Not soft, not conditional, not dependent on approval or applause, but steel-forged, battle-tested belief that you are becoming who you were always meant to be.